into becoming an African champion. Evans Cadman, gold for Ghana in the men's high jump, just like they did for the women. He has delivered an unlikely gold medal.
You know, it's a double for Ghana in the high jump, and there's only one thing I can see. A star is born today here at the University of Ghana Stadium. And the boys and the men from Commonwealth Hall, University of Ghana, I believe, have been rewarded for all the singing and all the encouragement. Their shirts are off. And when was the last time you saw such a partisan crowd in an athletic stadium?
That's the gold medal for Evans Yeboah Cadman, a former student of the University of Ghana. He's come back here from his surgeons in the United States, waiting to follow
Joy 99.7 FM.
Very lovely afternoon. Welcome. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, hits 103.9 FM. My name is Fentu Tahir Fentu. Welcome to the show. Today we have an abridged show because we have Habitat Fair happening at the Accra International Conference Center. All your housing needs, and today is a special day because you get 10% up to 30% off on all products you buy, all services you procure from the Habitat Fair. It's happening today. It's happening tomorrow as well. So make sure you make your way there. Everything you have or you need in your housing project, from the conception, buying land, to building, litigation issues, roofing, security, doors, plastering, cement, pretty much everything you need in the housing value chain, you can get it there at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. It's happening right now at the Accra International Conference Center. We'll be crossing over there at 2 p.m. because I need to be there myself, along with the rest of the guys. But until then, we've got a lot to cover today. And of course, Manchester United, they've announced a new manager. Ruben Amorim has joined the club officially. So he's replaced Erik ten Hag, who was sacked only a few days ago. It was actually on Monday. So that's to come on the show. But also on the show today, we have a very special interview all the way from the United States of America. And I'll tell you about our guest very, very shortly. But the show is proudly sponsored by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams, and Betway, get way more. Now, we do and will have time for your messages, so do send me 055-111-1997 your thoughts on Ruben Amorim as Man United manager. 055-111-1997. Also on Twitter or X, you can send me a message. Use the hashtag GamePlan. I'll see your message, retweet, and share it with the rest of our viewers from across the world. We're streaming live on X, okay, and video stream this time around. That's what the stream is. We're streaming live on X, and so do join us there if you're on the move. And then, of course, you can see everything live, and you can see the guest that we're going to interview very, very shortly. Actually, Tamaklo, Daniel Cranting are here with me as we try to put some perspective on a lot of the things that we'll be talking about here. Like I said, we have an abridged version of the show, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time, or I'm not going to waste too much time. But now I just want you guys to listen to this. Just listen to this.
Oh, impose Natido, and it's gold for Ghana. Evans Cadman is the high jump champion of the African Games. He celebrates, punches the air, and surely he has deserved it. He's come here roaring and flying like an eagle. The man that started his craft at this very university city on which this stadium is located. He's gone to the United States, where he has been shaped into becoming an African champion. Evans Cadman, gold for Ghana in the men's high jump, just like they did for the women. He has delivered an unlikely gold medal.
You know, it's a double for Ghana in the high jump, and there's only one thing I can see. A star is born today here at the University of Ghana Stadium. And the boys and the men from Commonwealth Hall, University of Ghana, I believe, have been rewarded for all the singing and all the encouragement. Their shirts are off. And when was the last time you saw such a partisan crowd in an athletic stadium?
That's the gold medal for Evans Yeboah Cadman, a former student of the University of Ghana. He's come back here from his sojourns in the United States, where he's a final year student at the University of Central Missouri, and he's claimed the African Games high jump gold medal, completing a double for Ghana in the men and women's high jump events. And for the last time this evening, and for the last time in the track and field, we shall hear the national anthem of the host nation, Ghana. Look at the celebration in the crowd. That's the last national anthem, or the last time Ghana's national anthem would be belted out inside this stadium, and every single person watching this would have been singing along. And for those in the stadium, they have truly witnessed history. That's Ghana's sports minister, and a playback of the events that unfolded in the lead up to that high jump gold medal for Ghana. And the Ghanaian, there he is, channeling the energy, the spirit of the fans inside the stadium. He outdid himself at 2.21 meters. He scaled that and sent the stadium into complete delirium, and then celebrated like a true football star. This celebration, you would know, and that is an acknowledgement from his fellow competitors, and that would be fantastic for the Ghanaian. Look at the celebrations. Congratulations to him. A moment of pride for him and his family, but certainly for his country.
Wow, goosebumps. That was exactly 6 months ago, where Evans Cadman Yeboah won gold for Ghana in the African Games high jump. And if you heard the commentary there, you would have heard him you would have heard the commentator talk about him being a final year student at the University of Central Missouri in the United States. And at the time, there was excitement, there was joy, not just for him personally, but for the entire country. And exactly 6 months later, he finds himself in a bit of a pickle, a big problem, and he risks not graduating from the university because of very, very peculiar circumstances. He's joining us today to talk about what exactly is going on with him. This is a big exclusive interview, and Evans Yamo is on the line, is joining us on Zoom. Very good afternoon to you. Evans, how are you?
Well, thank you. And I would like to express my profound gratitude for doing this interview with me, and also say thank you for your listeners, and thank you to everyone listening.
Yeah. Well, by the way, where are you joining us from? Where are you right now?
I'm at work. It's currently 8:40 a.m. and I'm carrying like my daily routine.
So you're in what city is what I was asking.
Oh, Warrensburg, Missouri.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, you had, I think you listened to the commentary there. What were the emotions that were going through your mind when you were listening to that?
It gave me like flashback from the happy times, the memorable times I had when I was in Ghana, and I still have joy. I still have joy in my heart, despite what's going on. So I still have joy.
By the way, did you recognize that voice?
Yes,
The
I think
commentator's
one.
voice.
Yes, one. I think there was two voices. One would be yours.
That's correct.
Then, yeah,
Yes, and then the great Sammy Bartels. Anyway,
yeah.
so I'm very surprised because in the ensuing days, a lot of the guys Q did the athletics didn't know that it was me that was doing the commentary most of the time. But anyway, so listen, Cadman, talk to us. You reached out to me more than a month ago with a very peculiar problem that I've been trying to help you solve, but we're not making enough headways, and you've decided that an interview might be a way to try and get you help. What exactly is going on with you since the last time you came to compete for a gold medal here? What exactly is going on? The whole Ghana is listening. Let's hear what exactly is going on with you.
Okay, so about 3 months ago, when the semester began, I had 1 year of eligibility to do sports for my university, and my scholarship was depending on this eligibility. Since like I'm an athlete, they will pay for my tuition and everything. However, when there was a change of management, this eligibility, according to the NCAA, I had like 6 years of school, so they strike out the eligibility I had, which made my tuition taken away from me. I tried solving it with the management up here. At least I've spent 2 years up here, so at least they should pay my last semester remaining so I could graduate from school. However, as I said, their hands are tied. We did everything we could, but my scholarship couldn't be granted since there was a change of management. And I've tried other means of getting money to pay for my tuition. All these means have like not come by so easily. Like nobody has responded so far. I've tried all I could and all I can. So in short, like my scholarship was taken away from me, and then there's no way I could pay that tuition on my bill right now. So that's why I reached out to you to see if there's any way, any means possible I could get at least some sort of funding to pay for my tuition to graduate this semester.
And this is your final year in the university. You mentioned, just for those that don't understand, the whole concept of eligibility and the school saying that you have 6 years of university. You started, take us through your university career. You started here at the University of Ghana, did how many years before you transferred? How did you end up being in university for 6 years instead of the usual 4? Can you explain?
Yes, so I graduated from the University of Ghana in 2022. And my then time coach, Christopher Goodwin, reached out to me and was like, hey, we need you to come compete for us. So initially I applied for a master's program, but the school did its review and everything. They were like, all the transcripts I transferred wouldn't be applicable here. So it would be advisable for me to do 1 year of undergrad before I roll over to a master's program, which I agreed and came up here. We came up here and I had 1 semester of track. So I did the 1 semester of track and they found like loopholes in my transcript, as I said. So they applied for an extra year for me to compete, which was last season. So adding up to the 2 years I've been here and the 4 years in Ghana makes 6 years. They realized, okay, it's been 6 years of schooling and not 6 years of track. So that's how come my eligibility got taken away.
And that is because the US has there's a rule, and the NCAA has a rule. You cannot be a student athlete for more than 5 years.
Correct.
And because you already did 4 years here, they assume that was 4 years of school. Even though you weren't necessarily competing for the university, they still assume that you were. And so you benefited. And so an extra year in the US was all that was needed. And then after that, you were done. There was no way of renewing your scholarship. Did you always know that this would happen, or what kind of hope were you hanging on to that perhaps it could be renewed?
It was kind of a shocker, because all this while we knew with my coaches that I have like an extra year, which is this year, to compete for the university. So after we came to Ghana, we did all the games and all that, came back here, and there was a change of management. That's where everything went south. When there was a change of management, my old management had my University of Ghana transcript and the University of Central Missouri transcript. But the University of Ghana transcript wasn't in the NCAA portal. But since there was a change of management and they handed over every document, the new management decided to put the University of Ghana transcript into the system, which kind of like affected everything. So in the portal, it was just the University of Central Missouri transcript that was in there, which granted me like an extra year of eligibility, which would have seen me through my final year of schooling. But as I said, when management got changed, the new management decided, okay, this is all the documents we have in hand, so we're just going to turn everything in and clean our hands of this case. And that affected my eligibility. So
okay,
it came as a shocker like just 3 months ago, when they were like, okay, there's nothing we could do to reinstate your scholarship, and we will try to get you some waivers, which didn't work too. So yeah.
Okay. So basically, your scholarship was taken away from you, and you still have a semester to go, and which meant that you have to pay the fees for the last year, and you are set to graduate this December, and you haven't paid the fees. What has the university told you?
So I've had like meetings for the past 2 weeks with management up here, and all they're saying is they are going to hold my transcripts and my degree, and the worst case scenario, they're going to put me on collections, which is going to affect so many things up here. And the worst thing I've heard from them so far was when the semester was beginning, they were going to unenroll me for my classes and ask me to return back to Ghana if I don't pay a part of my tuition, which some friends and families contributed money, which was like $2,500 for me to pay to get enrolled into classes. So that was like the most shocking news I heard. And now they're also further threatening me by holding my degree, my certificate, and my transcript.
And all of that will affect even your ability to stay in the US, because after school you would have no reason to stay there if you don't graduate and you probably get a job or get a professional contract and all of that. Now, let's talk about the efforts you put into trying to get help. You've reached out to the sports ministry. You've written a letter to the sports ministry. What has happened to that?
I've had no feedback from anyone. All the emails I've sent, all the messages I've sent to individuals, there's no feedback as of now.
Wow. And so the fees that are outstanding at the moment, that's making your situation very tricky and could possibly be kicked out of school. How much are we talking about in total?
I'm talking about $1,500.
Do you mean 15,000 or 1,000?
$15,000, my bad. Yeah, $15,000.
$15,000 of school fees.
Yes.
That's what's outstanding now.
Yes.
And you have to pay that, or else no graduation.
Yes.
and you don't have money to pay. You just said you are at work. What's going on with that? That's not enough to raise money to pay?
I currently use 2 paychecks to pay my rent. So there's nothing I could do outside this campus job as an F1 student holder, visa holder. So my job currently pays my rent, and that's about it. It's kind of like that, do anything. So how I feed, how I do everything, it's God's intervention at this point. So I use my my work, the 2 paychecks from work to actually pay rent. So
because the scholarship was covering for that also, and once they took that, now you have to work and pay the rent. But the tuition clearly is a much bigger amount, and you cannot pay. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we spent over $245 million in hosting the African Games. One of the guys that made the whole country proud was this guy. And anybody who was at the athletics event on the last day of athletics, which was the Friday, you would have seen how much joy. And the old students and the students of Commonwealth Hall, the relationship we had with them, anyone who was at the African Games would have recognized this high jumper that we are speaking to. An old Commonwealth Hall student. So the old Vandals who are listening to me right now, well-meaning Ghanaians, the government at the moment so far has neglected him. He says he's reached out to several quarters, and I can testify the conversations that have gone on with the sports ministry. There's been no feedback, and this has been going on for more than 6 weeks since he first contacted me. And this interview is more of a Hail Mary to any well-meaning Ghanaian who is listening, or to anyone with real power that can force the people to act. Because this is a national athlete who has found himself in a very tricky situation. Ordinarily, the state should be paying for him to go to school. He did get his own scholarship, but he's run out his eligibility. And he's only got a few months of school left. And all of that would come to nothing if he does not graduate. And clearly, as a country, this is another story of a massive letdown. From the GOC president, I don't know if you've been made aware of this, Ghana Athletics, the sports ministry, even the African Games local organizing committee themselves, all that money that you solicited for, what have you used it for? You cannot find $20,000 from that to help a gold medalist risking getting kicked out of school? Why do we do this as a country? The sports minister handed him the medal. I was there. I did the commentary. He was proud. They proudly counted his gold medal as part of Ghana's achievements at these African Games. Why have you turned your back on him? This is embarrassing. He should not even be doing this interview. But he's recognized that unless this happens, he might not get the help he wants. So this is a big plea to anyone listening to me right now, 99.7 Joy FM. I have contacts to him. Please, let's reach out. He's working with deadlines. You told me you've been giving a certain date to pay everything or else forget about your degree.
Yes, December 15th.
There's time for people here to raise money for this kid, to reach out to the appropriate authorities to get him the help that he needs. This is not a story that should be told of our national athletes. It's embarrassing. And clearly, this has obviously affected your own performances. What have you done since this issue came up? Because with that, are you even training?
So right now, I'm battling with 19 credits just to graduate. and also do my internship, also work. So the less time I get, I try to hit the gym, try to do a shakeout at least to get my body still going. But actively, team wise, I don't have like any team to perform with. So I do as much as I can to train at this point.
And clearly, this is not an issue that your parents can help you with. Your parents live in Ghana, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And they are civil servants.
Yes, a teacher and a police officer.
Oh dear. Okay, Evans, I'm gonna give you a few minutes right now, or whatever time you want to take. Speak to anyone listening right now who might be touched by the message or by what you're about to say, so they can come to your aid. Because clearly, it's not enough hearing it from just me. So,
Right.
what have you got to say to anyone that's listening to you right now?
So I have just few words because at this point I'm sad, I'm stranded. This is not what I would have expected for myself. I wanted more for myself and more for my country. However, circumstances have brought me this way. So I'm pleading on everyone who is able to come to my aid to help me out, pay for this tuition. And I know once this tuition is paid for, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to put in all the energy to bring joy back to every Ghanaian. There are more games ahead of us, like there are more opportunities for us to tap in. So I just want everything back. And I believe in myself to put joy on the faces of every Ghanaian as I did some few months ago. So whoever is listening, whoever is out there who's able, I'm pleading, I'm begging that you come to my aid. That's all I have to say right now.
Very well, Evans. Thank you very much. If you don't mind, I would ask you to give out your email address. Maybe phone number might be a little too intrusive, but if you can give out your email address right now for anyone who wishes to contact you as an option. Obviously, if somebody wants to help, you can contact me as well. But if you want to contact Evans directly too, you can contact him via his email address, which is
exy81220@ucmo.edu. I repeat, E as in elephant, X as in xylophone, Y as in yam, 81220 at U as in umbrella, C as in Caleb, M as in Minnesota, O as in ostrich, .edu. That's my email.
all right. Very well. Let me just repeat it for anyone that's listening right now. The email that he just gave away is his school email address. Okay, I think that's what it is. But also, you have another one. There's a yamwa.ucmo.edu. That's also an option, correct?
Yes, that's my work email. But my personal email is yamwacadman127@gmail.com.
I think that's much better. Yamwa
Okay.
Cadman.
Yamwacadman, YAMOACADMAN127@gmail.com.
Yeah, yamwacadman@gmail.com. That's
Yamwacadman127
yamwacadman127. Okay. yamwacadman127@gmail.com. Send him a mail and send help his way. Thank you, Evans, for speaking to us. We appreciate your situation. We have a bit of time, thankfully. And thank you for being vulnerable and opening up. I know this wasn't easy, but the hope is that this will bring you the help that you need, and we will push for it from this end. But if you're listening to us here and you have any help, you want to contact him directly, you can do so at yamwacadman127@gmail.com. Evans, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best, and we'll be in touch, and we'll do everything possible to get you the help that you need in the next few days before that December 15 deadline.
Thank you very much for doing this too.
All right, so that's as far as comfortable conversations go, that was one of them. That certainly was one of them. And I hope he does get the help that he needs. And for anyone that's listening to us right now, we know that a lot of people listen to Joy FM, well-meaning Ghanaians who are capable, who are very, very caring indeed. You care about education, you care about the welfare of fellow Ghanaians. And this is a national athlete. He brought joy. He brought... Man, I mean, you just had to be there at the University of Ghana Stadium on that day of the high jump. Daniel Cranting and Achita Maklo are here with me. I will take their thoughts on this matter very briefly before we cross over to the Habitat Fairgrounds at the Accra International Conference Center. Danny K, I mean, that was hard to listen to.
Yeah, look, it's not the best. It's not the best. It's not an amount of money that the ministry can quickly sort out. This is not
feeding
Charlie. Like
accreditation tax. You know how much we spent.
This is not any. It's not a wannabe at. This is a medal winning, gold medal winning athlete. Just 6 months ago in a competition that we hosted, he was one of the reasons why we were able to hold our heads up high at the end of the competition, because of his solid performance. Now, if he needs help like this and he's reached out to you, even if transferring the money will take time, do the decent thing by just replying. Like it's
feedback.
It's as simple as that. Like, and to be frank, he's in school, but he's still under your care. He's an athlete. He's a Ghanaian athlete, so obviously under the Ministry of Sport, and feedback is important in something like this, especially when it's a matter of time. There's a time limit to it. If you don't reply something, he's going to lose his position at the school. So look, they should just do the needful. It's not anything. This 20K is not anything that they can. They've pumped millions of dollars into much less important ventures. So I beg them, this thing is
now of concept. The people went there, they didn't win a game. We gave them 20,000 appearance fee.
Charlie.
Down cry is there. Blasters players. It's documented. So I'm saying that they have the money.
Charlie,
what is this?
A national athlete. Like, you're going to sit down and watch this thing happen.
It's so embarrassing. Actually,
our friends at the Sports Ministry, the Olympic Committee, do you enjoy being hauled before the court of public opinion to come and address things? The last time it was Deborah. Today it is Cadman. The next time it is going to be another national athlete. And you see, all of these circle back to the same issue of the absence of a central fund, right, that is distributed for various purposes in athletics. And if you expand it, for sports. Cadman's situation is heartbreaking because as we speak, he's top 5 athletes on the continent.
Yes.
And you see that I was going through the Olympic page. The athletics, the high jump space is very competitive. The number 1 ranked high jumper on the continent is Brian Ratz, South African. He's also a student at the University of Pretoria. He's just 20 years of age. He is on scholarship. Now, while Cadman is having all of these issues, his scholarship is squeaky clean. So he's able to access facilities, train, and everything. Brayton Poole, he's 24 years of age. Another South African. He's from the University of Stellenbosch. Another athlete on scholarship. He also currently cleared a mark of 2.25 meters. Number 2 ranked on the continent. Then you have Keegan Fury. He's a bit old in the teeth, South African. He's 33 years of age. He also cleared a mark of 2.25. And then a Nigerian brother, Best Ehire, another 22-year-old, another scholarship student at the Texas Tech University. The pattern now is this. Africa's best athletes are all students on scholarship or students who had access to scholarship. So Cadman falls within that category.
And he did get the scholarship.
Yes, and his performances have, at least for those who don't follow anything at all, you saw what he did at the African Games.
Yeah.
Right. So he deserves it. He's not someone that you can. Over there, they don't do protocol there. If we smuggle you through, when you get there, the system will pull you out because you need to hit certain marks. Yes. You need to hit certain marks. So after these 4, then you come to Cadman. The heartbreaking thing about Cadman's situation is that by virtue of his performance and his ranking, if he were in the UK, he would have been eligible to £36,000 annually.
That's crazy.
£36,000 annually. That's the average sum.
From his country.
Yes, that's the average sum the country is given. Now, last month, the UK British Athletics announced the Olympic World Class Program. When we were talking about the political parties manifesto, I spoke about this matter.
Yeah. What athletes you could potentially...
So these are 65 elite athletes in the country that they have categorized. Podium finishers, potential...
Podium finishers.
And all of those. So 65 athletes the state is going to, for the next 1 year, take care of, for them to have the peace of mind to prepare. Now, beyond the £36,000 that on the average you are going to get, this does not include monies that they would enter for competitions and all of these things for you.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
just to support you.
This is just to support you. Look, something has to give. As for this one, don't wait for a sports fund because the deadline is December 15. Do something like this. Treat it as a matter of emergency.
There's time.
Treat it as a matter of emergency. But going forward, I'm saying to you that the countries that you aspire to be, this is how they do it.
And guess what? Maybe something like
and
that.
I know for a fact that on the day this was released, myself and a few friends ensured that the sports ministry and the consultants at the sports ministry had access to this particular document.
And these are the things we do. If he gets help from, let's say,
private citizen,
yes, or even the party in opposition, then we'll go and hold press conference and insult them for going to see the.
Meanwhile, you have been contacted. You have ignored the boy.
He needs help. What do you want him to do? So
I'm just going to finish by saying that, look, this one is an emergency. How you do it?
Because I can't forgive myself to watch Cadman get kicked out of school because he owes fees.
Then go and start all over again.
Not after what he did at the African Games.
And the obscene monies we threw about at the same...
Dear Lord. If the sports ministry and all these other people have no shame, private individuals have shame. So please, if you can help, reach out to the boy. Reach out to the boy. Reach out to the boy. He gave out his email address. Or reach out to me, to the Joy Sports desk. Reach out to us. My email is everywhere. It's ftahiru2@gmail.com. It's everywhere on my socials. Email me if you have a form of support that you want to offer him, and I'll connect you to him directly. Please. Please. Let's come to his aid. You're listening to me. You know someone that you think can help, that would like to help. Professionals, even the football players who are earning millions and millions a year. If you can reach one of them, this would be a great thing for one of them to do. You're a businessman, you're a state institution or a private company or just a private individual. Come on board and help. This is Game Plan, the abridged version, proudly brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams, and Betway gets way more. I'm heading to the Accra International Conference Center for the 3 of the